this guy is widely known for two concepts: person of interest and prey drive. Okay? You guys have to be ready, because when he gets started, you cannot stop him. He won't be stopped. This is Coach Michael Burt. Coach, it's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you here. There you go. Good to see everybody, guys. Coach Michael Burt, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee today at the Greatness Factory, and I want to say first, thank you so much for, for having me. Thank you for believing in me. I remember having breakfast with Tab somewhere out there on the somewhere at a hotel out on the West Coast, and it was very impactful in my life. So I want to say thank you, number one, for having me. My name is Coach Michael Burt. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. I've been doing a 4-day boot camp here in Nashville at our Greatness Factory. And I spent a decade of my life as a head women's basketball coach, taking basically a place that had never won in 30 years and transforming it into a national powerhouse that would go on to win 7 of 9 championships. And along the way, really had some big takeaways. One of those big takeaways was what I was really doing. And that's what we're going to help you with today. Is we're going to help you with the concept called how to activate your prey drive. And I'm going to tell a little bit of the story of prey drive, because from 18 to 25, I studied one person, Dr. Stephen Covey. And Covey, I was a deep disciple of Covey's. And Covey taught the 7 habits of highly effective people, principle-centered leadership, first things first. And what he really taught me from 18 to 25 was the concept of how to package an idea. So I'm studying Covey, and I'm learning these 7 habits, and I make up my mind, man, when I become a head basketball coach, I'm going to teach these 7 habits. What I was really doing was learning how to activate something inside of a person. And that something is what we call prey drive, Preydrive. It is an instinct inside of a person to see something with the eyes optically, or in the mind, in the imagination, and have the persistence and intensity to pursue it. So from 18 to 25, I'm an elementary basketball coach. I've become the youngest head coach in Tennessee. I teach the players the 7 habits of highly effective people. And at 25 years old, so many people were asking me, like, what are you doing with the kids? What are you doing with these kids? So I sat down and I began writing my first of what would become 16 books. Fast forward to when I'm 41 years old. I've retired from athletic coaching at 31. I'm now coaching business people. And I'm sitting in a workshop with a former Vietnam veteran that was in the War Dog division of the Vietnam War. His job every morning is to wake up, to go out into the jungle ahead of everybody else with a dog. The dog's job was to sniff out bombs, booby traps, ambushes. Think about any day you think you got a tough day. Think about this dude waking up with a dog every day, going into the jungle. And he kept talking about the dog having a prey drive. I'm sitting there with my wife, and I had a big revelation. See, to do something big in the world, there's a cycle, folks. You first have a big revelation. That's a big, sudden, dramatic moment. Because of the revelation, you now have a conviction. Conviction is a deep-seated belief. Because of the conviction, you now take an action. I'm sitting in that workshop, and I go, that's it, prey drive. That's what I've been doing my whole life. I've been activating this drive. And I said, humans have a prey drive. Humans have something inside of them. Humans have this. So what we're going to talk about is this prey drive for you. How do you build a high prey drive environment? How do you activate something inside of you? Okay. What is prey drive? Prey drive is in each of us. It's not talked about in humans, although I'm talking about it. The new book I'm writing called Flip the Switch is on how do you do it. It's what I've been doing the whole life. That was the revelation. And I'm sitting there going, man, there's a difference between motivating, which means to take an idea through to its logical conclusion. Inspiration, which means where an idea has a hold of you and is trying to take you to a place that you want to go to. And activating. And I said, this is what I've been doing. I've been activating this drive in people forever. So I want you to think of prey drive like this. Okay. And I'm going to give everybody my presentation today, by the way. So if you want to get my presentation, if it'd be valuable for you, if you want to do a strategy session with me, then that's the number to get the presentation. Text that, text the code MP, get MP, and I'll send you this flip the switch presentation. This is my signature presentation, okay? 678-506-7543. Text the code GET-MP, okay? Now, this is prey drive. Prey drive in an animal is the animal's ability to stalk, capture, and kill prey. Prey drive in a human, I've determined, is the human's instinctual ability to see something with the eyes optically. I see it and I want it. I see it and I'm interested in it. I see it and or in the mind. How do I go big? Like one of my visions right now is opening greatness factories around the world. So I have this 9,000 square foot greatness factory in Nashville. It is not a complacency factory. It's a greatness factory where people exchange ideas, energy, business. There's shared office space, permanent office space, training capacities, dream foundries, monster tanks. Like it's this unique destination. I had this vision in 2017. I had it in the mind. I used to tell mom and dads when they dropped their kids off to me, I would say, they would say, Coach, my daughter's got a lot of potential. And potential is the idea of kinetic energy that is stored until utilized. It is the idea that something has to be activated inside of you. And I would say to those moms and dads, thank you for bringing your daughter to the greatness factory, because we are going to manufacture her greatness in the body, in the mind, in the heart, and the spirit. So prey drive is I see it. I saw a greatness factory in my mind. It's this cool place, right? Spa, gym, body, mind, heart, spirit. How do I do it? Prey drive is the ability to see it and pursue it. There are three components of this prey drive. This is the new book I'm writing that'll come out in 2022 by McGraw-Hill. Number one, it's got to be activated. I'm going to show you today how to activate your prey drive by 8 a.m. every morning. Once the prey drive is activated, there has to be a persistence to the prey drive. I want to use the word persistence like this: long obedience in the same direction. Mastery is I study a master for 7 years. For me, it was Covey. Then you practice what you see the master do, 7 to 15 years. For me, that was coaching, 19 to 31 as a basketball coach. Then you go do what you see the master, what the master did. That for me, 31 to 44, where I am today, 13 more years of this. Persistence is the ability to long obedience in the same direction, to get up and work the muscle every day when you don't feel like it. Folks, amateurs listen to their feelings. Professionals do not listen to their feelings, right? Third piece of prey drive, and I want you thinking, where does your prey drive fall off the wagon? Where does your prey drive fall off the wagon? Third piece is intensity. Intensity is ferocity. It is focused energy towards something, okay? Now, I'm going to show you a slide in just a second about going from A to B, but before I do, I want to get in your mind what motivates you. See, to break this book down, once I made up my mind I was going to be the leading authority on activating this prey drive in people, I started studying the top 20 motivational theories in the world. They all said the same thing. We move toward things we want. We're hungry, we move toward food. We're thirsty, we move toward something to drink. We're lonely, we move toward people. We want attention, we act out, right? What happens when all of our wants are met? What happens when we have satisfied a lot of our needs? This is precisely what happens. We become lazy. We become complacent. Complacency is a gradual settling to a place of mediocrity. We are living in a complacent nation. Folks, I'm coaching thousands of people every single week. Prey drive is not activated. Prey drive has gone dormant. No prey drive to go pursue something. No prey drive. I'm coaching people right here today at the Greatness Factory to ask for a sale, to follow up 7 to 15 touches, to do something big in the world, to pursue a dream. We're living in a complacent nation, and let me tell you why. We reach a point and our needs are met. And once our needs are met, satisfied needs never motivate, only unsatisfied needs. Now, I want you to look at number one here. In the animal, and I saw this, I missed this the first time when I was writing the book, because I'm looking for what is the animal motivated by? What's the human motivated by, right? Look at what it says about the animal. In the animal, there is no greater motivation than the mere ability to pursue the prey. And I caught that, and I called my sales team, and I said, look, guys, the reward is not capturing the sale. The reward is in the ability every single day to get up and pursue the sale, to pursue our potential, to pursue something. I set such big goals, such big targets, that there's no room or margin for error. I can't take a day. I can't waste a day. I can take a day off because I need that, but I can't waste the day because the goals are so big, and I'm motivated by the pursuit of something big. You have got to get to the point where you're not motivated by an external factor. You're not motivated by the appraisal of somebody else. You're not motivated by somebody telling you how great you are. You're motivated by the ability to get up and pursue it every day. See, once I won a championship as a coach, it's like, what else is there to do, man? Once you make $1 million, you want 2 million. Once I build one greatness factory, I'm going to want 50 greatness factories. I'm not motivated by the accomplishment. I'm motivated by the pursuit. The pursuit is the reward. So for you, you got to get to the point where when you come in every single day, what are you pursuing, man? You're pursuing big goals, big dreams, big things in the world. Now, this is an exercise that I do with people that I learned in that workshop that day. I'm sitting in that workshop. It was a group of Juice Plus people, and they had all been coached by this gentleman, and we had not. My wife and I had not. We were there, heard about the guy. We wanted to go see it. He kept talking about going from A to B, you're at A, you're trying to go to B. Either your desire to go to B is greater than your desire to stay where you are. And he went around the room and he told all of us to stand up in front of the group and give our B. B is a single tangible outcome you are trying to drive in a 12-month cycle as measured in 30-day windows. Let me say that again. B is a single tangible outcome you are trying to drive in a 12-month cycle as measured in 30-day windows. That's your B. It's single, it's tangible. So he goes around the room, and most people in the room had a very small B. I want to make $500 a month. I think the biggest one was $1,500 a month. It gets to me. He looks at me, this war veteran, and he looks at me real intense. He said, "Sir, what's your B?" "You, sir, what's your B?" Without hesitation, I said $833,333.33. That's my B. People in the room looked at me like, who is this jerk, right? We're over here saying $500. This dude is telling us, right? This dude is telling us that he's going to do $833,333.33. Folks, I was a high school basketball coach making $25,000 a year. So he doesn't say anything. He just looks at me and goes, okay. Goes back around the room. 3 hours later, comes back to me. "Sir, tell me again what your B is." I said $833,333.33, because if I hit that 12 times, that's $10 million. That's what my coaching business is going to do. Here's what he says to me. He said, "I detect something about you. You're the only person in the room tough enough to do it." What was he detecting? They said that the investor who gave Adam Newman at WeWork $4 billion made a decision to give him $4 billion in less than 28 minutes. And you know what his exact words was? "I detected something about him." What did he detect? Prey drive, instinct, pursuit, right? So we go back to the story, and the coronavirus hits, the pandemic hits, my speaking engagements dry up. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to figure out how to make money. I'm trying to hit my sales goals. And it activated something inside of me. The competition activated something inside of me. The fear of loss activated something inside of me. The environment activated something inside of me. And I said, man, I'm not letting this thing get me down. I'm going to take everything that I'm doing, and I'm going to multiply it. When in doubt, take an action. When you're scared, take an action. Most people contract, right? So I multiply the number of videos I do. I multiply the number of Facebooks I do. I multiply the number of Zooms I do. I was doing 8 Zooms a day for free for companies just to get in front of their people. Because you don't need more money. You need more people. People have the money. So I'm sitting there going, I'm like, boom, boom, let's get from. And man, I'm exhausted and I'm wore out, but my prey drive is activated. Like that championship coach, I'm not stopping until I win. And in October of last year, I'm asking my team every day, what's the number? Where are we at? What's the number? Where are we at? What's the number? And my business manager on October 30th said, Coach, the number's 868,000. 3:33. I went home that night and I told my wife, I said, we did it. I said, remember 2 or 3 years ago, sitting in that workshop, telling all those strangers that RB was 833,000. And I said, we just did it. And she said, great, now go upstairs and put the kids to bed. Now, here's my point. Once I hit it, it's like, dang, how'd I hit it again? How'd I hit it again? If you don't believe in the power of the subconscious mind, folks, you've lost your mind. You are telling your brain, if you could see my iPad every single night, you can see my iPad, every single night, when I sit down, I'm mapping out, right? I'm mapping out my future for the next day. And I'm telling my brain, this is what we're going to do. See this? Every night I sit down and I map out. All of these are ideas that turn into money. This is called mental mapping. This is what I teach all the people in my coaching program. I'm telling my brain, I am going to do this. I am doing this. I am the leading authority on activating prey drive. I am hitting this number every single month. I do have a penthouse at the 505, right? I do, right? Look at this. Ideas turn into money, folks. Every day, in every way, I'm sitting down and I'm telling my brain this is what's going to happen. So when you're thinking about your prey drive, when you're thinking about how your prey drive is, do you have a beat? Do you have a tangible beat? Do you have a tangible beat? What is it? Are you moving toward it? Do you measure it every day? Where are you in relationship to it? Now, why do we become complacent? We become complacent for this reason. Satisfied needs never motivate. Only unsatisfied needs. We become a complacent nation. Now, this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay? Because I'm studying and break down and codifying and deconstructing all of these motivational theories for this book. And I'm like, this is it, man. The reason we should be interested in our potential is because we should be interested in actualizing our God-given talent. We should get interested in going pro. In the body, in the mind, in the heart, and the spirit. We should be interested in pushing as hard as we can and exerting force and energy toward our potential. How many Americans are not interested in their potential? How many Americans have gone complacent? How many of Americans had prey drive at one time, but they don't have it right now? How many people the switch was flipped, but now it's gone dead or dormant? Folks, I've been asked to give the eulogy at 2 different funerals for 2 different people. And they called me and said, Coach, we know you speak around the world, and we need you to give the eulogy at this funeral because they don't have somebody to give it. They don't have a pastor. They don't have a person in their life that can properly eulogize them. And I said, I'd be happy to do it. I just need to know 3 people. I need to talk to a family member. I need to talk to a friend. I need to talk to a community member. So they set me up with these people. And I said, can you tell me one thing they did in their life, like something big? Well, they really didn't do anything. Can you tell me goals that they had and dreams that they aspired to? Well, they didn't really have any dreams. Can you tell me how many people they helped in their lifetime? Well, they didn't really help that many people. Here's what I kept hearing. Coach, they had a good life. They were a good person. Do you know how, what kind of impression it leaves on me or left on me to give the eulogy to 2 different people and 30 people sitting there at the funeral, or less than 30 people, because they had never really helped a lot of people. They had never really done anything big. They'd never really had any dreams. They just lived a good life. It left a big enough impression on me that said, man, I ain't going to live a life like that. I told my wife, we're going to live an extraordinary life. We're going to live an uncommon life. But sweetheart, the extra's got to come from somewhere. Okay? I am interested in self-actualization. I'm interested in my full potential. I'm interested in taking it all the way. I'm interested in activating all 4 parts of my nature. And those are the 4 parts right there. I'm interested in going pro in the body. November of last year, I made a decision to lose 30 pounds, get in the best shape of my life. I'm interested in my mind. I'm interested in learning, growing, studying the top successful people in the world. I'm interested in the heart, having valuable relationships with people, having an activated prey drive for my potential. I'm interested in my spirit. For me, that's my faith. I'm interested in going pro in the body, in the mind, in the heart, and in the spirit. Because at some point, folks, we leave our amateur desires behind and we make a decision to freaking go pro. And when we go pro in all four parts of our nature. Not one part, all four parts. This is how I activate my pray drive by 8 a.m. every morning. Number one, I feed my spirit first. For me, that's typically a 20-minute sermon with a particular pastor that I enjoy and like. 2, I typically work out something very physical with a coach, with a trainer. 3, I feed the heart by seeing my wife, our 2 kids. 4, I feed my mind, something on business, typically 10 to 20 minutes. I then ride into office and meet with my team. When I'm meeting with my team, this is the formula that I'm meeting with them with. Number 1, I want a success story. Why are we doing this? Okay, I actually do not believe you have to find your why first before you do something big. I actually believe from 28 years of experience that your purpose finds you when you pursue something, when you work the muscle, when you activate the pray drive. I then activate the pray drive. I'm going to show you today the 5 activators of that drive. I then do a teaching point where I'm teaching them one thing. I go around the horn. We talk about that number because dadgummit, we got to hit that number every 30 days, right? Where are we today in relationship to the number? By 7 p.m. on Sunday night, I want my team to turn in everything they're doing to reach their potential this week, to hit their goals. Not for me, by the way, for them. By 4:30 every day, I want a text message. What did we do? How did we do it? How did we win? How did we lose? That's a layer of accountability. This is the activation of pray drive every day. Now, when you're thinking about this, look at all the places I'm going pro, folks, because if you're going to be a person of interest, in the world, it's going to require an enormous amount of energy. You're going to have to go pro in the body. That's physical. That's skilled. Some of the people here at this conference I'm speaking at today, man, they got to go pro in their skills. Their skills are not strong enough. Money doesn't buy you freedom. Skills buys you freedom. The stronger your skills, the more money you're going to make. Right? When I was an average basketball coach, I wouldn't win championships. When I'm an average businessman, I'm not making millions of dollars. I'm not hitting my numbers. I can't close. Those are skills. You got to go pro in the mind. That's your knowledge, right? So when the heart's pray drive, the spirit's confidence. So if you're not producing at a high frequency, you're probably not clicking on every cylinder in these 4 parts of your nature: the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit. Making a note here. When you go pro in all 4 parts of your nature: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. I could tell you a point in my life that I went pro in each one of those areas. Okay? My faith-based life, man, I was a Christian, but I was alive, but I was dead. Went to church 7 straight years, sat in the back row, didn't pay attention, checked off the box that I went. Like the church at Sardis, I was alive, but I was dead. Then I said, dadgummit, I'm going to go pro in my spiritual part of my life. Every morning, I'm going to go pro. For you, you got to make a decision, and I can't make that decision for you, folks. Now, when you think about this, I'm going to show you one of the biggest things that people struggle with. This is a vicious cycle, okay? And because I coach so many people on sales and business and growth and how to activate the drive and how to become monster producers in the world, I see patterns. And this is a pattern that most Americans have. I want you to write this down. And remember, you can text and get this entire presentation. Number 1, they start with good intention. Their pray drive is activated, right? By something. It is a flash of inspiration. It is a video. It is exposure to something. It's like, boom, I'm ready. Problem is step 2, you lack the discipline to work the muscle and see it through to its conclusion. Start with good intention, fall off the wagon, feel guilty. Start with good intention, fall off the wagon, feel guilty. That is human nature, folks. A good coach comes into this cycle and breaks that cycle for you. A good coach, see, the reason in my coaching program, I do sessions every Monday, because I know how fast a person can fall off the wagon. I know that last week they were on board. Here's my model, folks. It all goes to 0 at midnight. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. It's going to be a fight, but dadgummit, we're going to find a way to win, right? And here's my favorite one. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to win. It all goes to zero at midnight. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer, right? It goes to zero. Think about this. When you think like that, you say, well, why do you think like that, coach? Doesn't it seem like scarcity? No. When I was a basketball coach, here's what would happen, folks. I'd win a game on Tuesday night. We'd get lazy on Wednesday. We'd have a pitiful practice on Thursday. We'd get beat on Friday night. Taught me a valuable lesson, man. It all goes to zero at midnight. We go to bed tired, and we wake up hungry. The prey drive is an instinct. Like, man, I got to push. I got to go harder. I got to get to the next level. Why push? Why push this hard? Because I'm interested in my potential. I saw Ed Milet, who I just texted yesterday, because it's inspiring watching him find another gear when you're worth $500 million. All the people you've had on here are inspiring. Steve Sims, Naveen Jain, all of these people are world-class people. In their own way, they are experts at what they do. And they're inspiring. They activate my prey drive. But I saw Milet. It's me, Milet, and Tim Grover, and we're speaking at the door-to-door conference. And Milet goes into this, just anger because somebody wasn't taking notes, right? And he's like, look, I flew in here on a $50 million jet, paid for in full, right? I've built a $500 million net worth, all cash paid for, and I'm here, and I came to teach you how to do it, and you don't even take notes. And he said, here's your problem, man. You're too casual with your potential. And guys like me love guys like you because we could run circles around you. I'm interested in my potential. Seeing a guy worth $500 million still be interested in his potential. 2 weeks ago, an 81-year-old State Farm agent called my office. Said, I want to sign up for your coaching. I'm coaching an 81-year-old, two 77-year-olds, and a 74-year-old right now. Why? Because they know everybody needs a coach in life. They know they got another gear. So for you, you got to make up your mind. What are you tired of being casual about? Why is your business a $5 million business when it should be a $20 million business? Why are you playing local when you should be playing national and international? Why are you writing books but not best-selling books? You got to start asking yourself, what's the vicious cycle that you're in? Do you start with good intention and fall off the wagon and experience guilt? And if you do, you need a coach in your life, a person who can push you. Now, these are emotions. I want you to look at these emotions. What if I told you that these emotions are your friends? You see, in March of this year, when I was watching my business struggle to hit its sales numbers, I used fear to find another gear. I use anger. I use rejection. I use whatever emotion is you have. These emotions actually trigger something. And I'm going to say something real powerful, so don't miss this. Conflict is absolutely necessary for your expansion. You see, I used to believe that passion and emotion, right? Emotion came from passion. Passion is irresistible belief or motive or action. Real emotion comes from conflict, real fear, real disappointment, real anger. So let me ask you a question. If these emotions can fuel your prey drive to play at a freakish level, are they good or bad? See, when I was a basketball coach, we would lose a game, and man, I would walk the floors until morning. I would stay up all night. I would bring the team in at 4:30 in the morning. And nobody could figure this out. Like, why is he so difficult? Why does he care so much? Why does he hate losing this bad? I came to hate losing more than I love winning. But I'm convinced that that's why we won championships, is that we used all that anger and negative emotion and embarrassment to activate something inside of us to play at a higher frequency. I'm convinced that Donald Trump made a decision to run for president when at the correspondence dinner, President Obama made fun of him. And that night in that room, in front of thousands of people, activated something inside of him that he said, I'm going to run for president. See, embarrassment can activate prey drive. Anger can activate prey drive. Fear can activate prey drive. These things are our friends. Big time people, when they get afraid, they expand. Small time people contract. Okay. So in March of this year, when I was scared, what did I do? Boom, I expand. More videos, more free stuff, more push. Then I have this big month where we do 800,000. We actually did 1.3 million in the month of October. And then I got comfortable. And then I wasn't scared anymore. And then I didn't have that extraordinary effort. Watch The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. He almost always played better after a loss. He always played better when somebody slighted him, when somebody made fun of him, when somebody told him he wasn't good enough, when somebody did something. And if he didn't have it, what did he do? He made it up. He made it up, right? He activated his own prey drive, folks. So when you're thinking about this, when we're thinking about this, here's how I want you thinking about it. I want you thinking that you have a primary hard skill. This is what some would call the fundamental relationship. That hard skill, that primary skill, is used to solve a problem for another person. Money changes hands when problems are solved or opportunities are presented. The bigger the problem, the more money people will pay to solve that problem, right? You can solve bluegill problems and make small money, or blue marlin problems and make big money. Do you want level 10 opportunities or level 4 opportunities? You use your primary skill to solve their problem. And that is where the exchange is. Right now, I coach a lot of coaches on how to make money coaching, because there's 700,000 people in the United States that call themselves a coach that have no idea how to make money. They're making $47,000 a year. That's the average mean income of coaches out there. You don't want to get advice and counsel from somebody who's making $47,000 a year, folks. They maybe have a skill, but they don't know how to solve a problem and monetize that skill. So when you're thinking about it, look at it like this, and this is where the Covey in me comes out. You have a talent. We're going to call that talent your primary skill. You have a passion, an irresistible belief for motive or action. You have a conscience. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You have to distribute that through branding and marketing, becoming known. Marketing is distribution of a message to a problem, to a person who will pay to solve the problem. It is converting a customer problem into a profit. Money changes hands when problems are solved or opportunities are presented. You initiate, you disarm, you locate a problem, you offer a compelling solution. At that exchange is where the money is made, and you become a person of interest. You have knowledge, you have skill, you have desire, you got confidence. Let me rephrase it. You got specific knowledge, not general. You got impeccable skill. You have incredible prey drive. You have contagious confidence. You are distributing those things to the marketplace by branding and becoming known, marketing, distribution of a message. And in that exchange is a money exchange. Everybody see that? Money changes hands when problems are solved. Therefore, selling becomes easy. I just go out and I find and solve problems in the marketplace. I use my talent, my primary skill, my passion, irresistible belief for motive or action, my conscience, what am I supposed to be doing? And I distribute that to the marketplace. In exchange of that, I'm compensated. The highest money earners in our society are artists, entertainers, athletes. They are distributing their talents to the world through their work. People are paying to actually watch them work. Isn't that amazing? So I always say, how good would you have to be for people to show up and watch you work? Right? If somebody would pay $100,000 just to come around and watch you work, okay? Wouldn't that be cool? All right, let's talk about prey drive in selling. Prey drive is what? It is an instinct. I need to make a call. I need to take an action. I need to follow up. Prey drive is prevalent everywhere. My 8-month-old son has prey drive. He gets up and he wants to be involved in things, and he's interested in things, and man, he's pursuing things. My 8-year-old daughter is pursuing things. She's interested in things, right? What happens to that prey drive? We get lazy. We have a good life. We become complacent, gradual settling to a place of mediocrity. A lot of what I teach in Prey Drive is selling, because most people hire me to help them get an increase in their revenue. And that is through a system that I teach called the Monster Growth System. The initiation point is Prey Drive. Without Prey Drive, none of it matters. With the Prey Drive, then I get them into a system of rhythm. Your life happens in a rhythm. Your heart beats in a rhythm. We're in a rhythm. We're pushing in a rhythm, right? Every day, we should be doing 4 things. And you need Pray Drive to do this. Number one, we need to be calling on new money. The purpose of the business is to produce money. The purpose of the business is to produce money. The purpose of the business is to create a customer. There's a difference, therefore, between a high-value activity and a low-value activity. A high-value activity is a money-generating activity. A low-value activity is any activity you participate in a day that's got nothing to do with producing money. So every day you should be calling on new money. Every day you should be closing people in your pipeline. And an object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. That's why I wrote the book $1 Million Follower. That's why I wrote the book Legacy Selling. Movement, circulation, energy, object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. Every day you should be calling on new money. You should be closing business in the pipeline. You should be engaging with your top clients, what we call the top 25. And you should be planning events. That's why I'm so glad that Tab did this event, so that you can push people to something. You can invite people to something. You can get people excited. And when they get excited, they want to do more. So when you're thinking about this, we call this the hit list. The hit list is anything that produces new money. We call it the farm club, those that have indicated interest that we haven't closed. We call it the top 25, which are our biggest advocates. And we call it the showcase, events that we're planning to push. So when I come into the day and I have all of these things I could participate in, right? I've got all of these things I could participate in. Here's what I got to do every day, man. I got to focus on my new money. I got to focus on closing people. I got to focus on loving on my top people. And I got to focus on planning some event to the future. Every day in every way, I'm focused on my red zones. Those are people in the 20-yard line. I'm focused on my level 10s. These are my biggest opportunities. I'm focused on my blue marlins. These are little hacks that I have. Blue marlins are big fish. Level 10, big opportunities. Red zone, people closest to making a decision. This is what we call legacy selling, folks. And you need Pray Drive to do this. Now, these are definitions of some of these hacks that I want to give you. Okay? Look at these definitions. The level 10 is the greatest opportunity available to you at this time that you may not be focusing on. Gosh, every time I say this, I am reminded of big opportunities. And it's like, as soon as I use the words level 10, some of you are level 10 people stuck in a level 4 opportunity. I was a level 10 guy as a high school basketball coach stuck in a level 4 vehicle. No matter how hard I worked, how good I did, how many games I won, I could not advance. I could not make any more money. I spoke one time at Dell Computers at 25 years old on the first book that I wrote, and they paid me more in an hour than I made in a month. At that time, I had a big pursue. You don't need more people. You don't need more money. You need more people. The people have the money. What is the greatest opportunity to you right now? What is the level 10 opportunity for you at this moment that you may or may not be focusing on? Mine is greatness factories, raising capital, building greatness factories, licensing greatness factories around the world. That is my next big move. It drives up my person of interest score. So I'm very clear on my level 10s and on my dominant focus. Open and license greatness factories, get to 1,000 people in Monster Producer, get to my revenue number and my coaching goal, write a best-selling book, and Pray Drive, flip the switch. These are my dominant focus. Now, red zones, when you come into the day, all of these things you can focus on. The red zone says this. So I'm doing an event with Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze was a head coach at Ole Miss. He scored more points on Nick Saban than any coach in college football. He beat Saban 3 times, and Saban is the best. And I asked Hugh Freeze on a break, I said, man, what are you the best at? He said, I'm the best at red zone conversions. Said, nobody scores more points inside the 20-yard line than I do. When I get in the 20-yard line, we're scoring. I said, that is a great sales term. So I came in, I told my sales team, man, we're gonna start focusing on red zones every day. Out of everybody we could focus on, who are closest to making a decision? Who are closest to making a buying decision? Send me those people. I'm going to call them and get them across the finish line. Here's what I'm going to say. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about taking action? because I can't help you till you commit, but once you commit, dadgummit, I'm not going to let you fail. Now, we're losing 10% of momentum every day we don't act. It seems like you want to do this. It seems like you want to play at a higher frequency. You told me you wanted to get a 30 or 40% increase. You told me you fall off the wagon. It sounds like to me you need a coach. Okay, that's a red zone conversation. Listen to what I said. When I get on the phone, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? Because I only work with serious people. I'm looking for Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs. Now, are you a Navy SEAL? Okay, good. That's who Coach Burt's looking for. People that want to self-actualize, people that want to play at the highest frequency, people that want to have that prey drive activate, people want to be monster producers and legendary creatures. Now, are you in or out? 7 billion people. You don't need more money, you need more people. The people have the money. Remember this, okay? So if you're not interested, I move to the next person. Blue Marlins. Blue Marlins are big problems you can solve that lead to the greatest payouts. Remember this, money changes hands when problems are solved. The bigger the problem, the more money people pay to solve that problem. You can wake up and solve little bluegill problems all day long, or you can wake up and solve blue marlin problems and make bigger money. Now, we're coming down the home stretch. Bear with me and stick with me for 8 more minutes. These are activators of prey drive. I save it for the end. And I want you thinking, the reason I drew this up is Lencioni had the 5 dysfunctions. Covey had the 7 habits. Singy had the 5 disciplines. Maxwell had the 5 leaders, 5 levels, maybe Collins. Everybody's got something. 5 habits, 7. These are 5 activators of prey drive, folks. I want you looking at what your activator is. All of this is going to be in my new book coming out in 2022 called Flip the Switch, How to Activate the Prey Drive in You and Your People. Be in all the bookstores, all the airports. Hope you buy it. It's going to be my life's work. It's my 17th book. And my goal is for it to really make a difference in the world. Here are 5 activators of prey drive. And then I got one story and I'm going to get you out of here. Number 1, fear of loss. This is fear of losing something, fear of losing money, status, respect. I would put rejection in this one. You want people's admiration. You want their respect, fear of loss. This is my number 1 activator. When I think I'm going to lose everything that we built. If I've spent 28 years of my life working and grinding and creating and coaching, I'm going to go to bed tired every night and wake up hungry. It all goes to 0 at midnight. I'm going to have a healthy fear. I know what takes years to build up can take seconds to tear down. Because of that belief, I'm going to operate as if it all goes to 0 at midnight. Fear of loss is a good thing. It activates a drive in you to pursue. Number 2, competition. You need a fight. You need a game to win. Some of you have become complacent, stuck, static, bored, in a rut. And you know why? Because you don't have a competition. You don't have a game to play. You don't have something to win. Your goals are too small. Remember, my goals are so big, I don't have margin for error. I don't have margin for error. Number 3, exposure is an activator of prey drive. You see something. If you could see the views out of my office here in Nashville, up on the 9th floor overlooking the city and Titan Stadium. People just want to look out there. It opens their mind to possibility. Expose your kids to things early in life. Number 4, environment. I try to create a high prey drive environment, right? An environment where people can thrive. As a basketball coach, a championship environment where prey drive was activated. Guess what I use, folks? Fear of loss, competition, exposure. Environment is an activator of prey drive. When you get around big time people and you get exposed and you come to the refiners conference, boom, boom, let's go do this. Some of you are operating in low prey drive environments, and the environment matters. And number 5 is embarrassment. Embarrassment is an activator of prey drive. I tell, if you're going to compare, folks, compare up. Right? If you're going to compare up to other people. I'm going to finish with a story. And if you want to get this presentation, this is my way to get it. If you want to do a strategy session with me, if you want to talk about something, just text this number in, text the code, get MP. That'll give you the ability to get the presentation. If you want to do strategy with me, you can email me at coach@coachburt.com. But I've enjoyed my time with you today, man. And I appreciate everything that you've done here today and the kind of people you bring together, because that activates your prey drive. Just being on a lineup like this with people like this activates my prey drive. I'm going to finish with a story. My wife, Natalie, did drugs every single day from 21 to 24 years old. I didn't know her during that period of her life. She was a country girl from West Tennessee. She grew up in a good Christian home, but they never pushed her. They never challenged her. She didn't play sports like me. She didn't have the kind of discipline I was used to. And she went to work. She dropped out of college, and she had no direction, no purpose, no goals, no dreams. But she was incredibly talented. She just didn't know it. I didn't know her during that period, so she hung around all kinds of shady people, did all kinds of shady things. Like gravitate toward like. People with no dreams hang around other people with no dreams. And they commiserate, and they think that life is hard. It's for other people. It's for the successful. It's for the lucky. It's for the strong. It's not for them. And that's kind of where she was. She was kind of a floater, a reactor, a struggler. 30 years old, her company, Verizon, paid for her to come to one of my workshops on a book I wrote called This Ain't No Practice Life. And they paid $50 for her to come to that workshop. She sat in the back and she took notes like crazy. I mean, just like crazy. Boom. She kept looking at me. Notes. Boom. Boom. And at the end of the workshop, she came up to me and she said, gosh, this was so incredible. Nobody has ever talked to me about any of these things. Nobody's ever told me I have potential. Nobody's ever said I had dreams. She said, man, can I meet with you and talk about this stuff? And she was real pretty. So I said, sure, we can meet right now. And she said, no, I want to come back and meet later. And she came back and the book was highlighted, ripped up. And she said, I got dreams and I didn't know it. And I got potential and I didn't know it. And I got something I want to do with my life. And I didn't even know that until I met you, till I saw this. Now, she went on to become my wife. We have two beautiful children, an 8-month-old and an 8-year-old, Elias and Ella Grace. And now my wife is writing her own books. She's handling millions of dollars of real estate that we own. She's designing my greatness factories. She's manifesting her potential. The question is, what happened to her? Right? What happened to her was her prey drive was activated. At 30 years old, it had never been activated. At 40 years old, 10 years later, it's a whole new person, whole new vision, whole new set of dreams, whole new set of ambitions. And I could give you story after story after story. Until the prey drive is activated, nothing happens, folks. And anytime my wife gets mad at me, she thinks I'm pushing too hard, or she argues with me, I like to remind her, sweetheart, for just $50, you got a pretty good husband, right? You didn't pay $5,000 for $50, right? I want to encourage you today as we close it out, folks. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe until you've ever been coached by a good coach, there's probably another gear that you haven't found. There's an activator that you haven't located. There's a switch that hasn't been flipped. There's something inside of you. The prey drive is the guts to see it and pursue it with an activation and a persistence and an intensity. My name's Coach Michael Burt. I thank you for having me today. Thank you guys, Tab, for having me. Thank you for bringing me back into your life after all these years. And thank you for the breakfast you bought for me at that one hotel. Right? I remember that very distinctly, man. I remember the conversation, and I'm so thankful that you brought me back today. It means the world to me.
Can you hear me, Coach? There he is. Yeah.
Now I can hear you. Yep, now I can hear you.
There you go. He Tab wanted me to let you know that you owe him breakfast.
You got it, man.
But he says he'll buy your dinner. So
I definitely owe him breakfast. That's for sure.
Coach, do you have a few minutes for? It looks like we have 3 questions.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Okay. So the first one is from Greg. He wants to know, how do you push yourself on an off day?
Great question. If you remember back in the presentation, I have off days, just like everybody does. I have days that I'm tired, worn out, exhausted. I've been speaking for 4 straight days at 2 different boot camps. And I have a day off. I have one day off a week typically, but I'm a professional. And I know that people are paying good money to see me perform, no different than an athlete or entertainer. So the way I activate my pray drive is I wake up, I go to work on my faith. Okay. I feed my faith. I feed my body. I feed my heart. Okay. I feed my mind. And I do all of that by 8 a.m. And typically when I wake up or I'm slow or I'm just out of it, boom. After I do those 4 things, listen to certain things, I am then ready to take an action. On my off day, my whole goal is not to activate the pray drive. I let my mind out to wander. I relax. When I get through this conference and finish up speaking here, I'll have a day off. And, I'll just do whatever I want to. Maybe read. I typically study one successful person on the weekend, every weekend. And that helps me reactivate my drive by Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you, Greg, for that question. Also, those slides that Coach went over, you guys can text the number, which is in the Refiners group, and you can get a copy of those. Susan asks, of Covey's 7 habits that you mentioned, do you think there are 1 or 2 that are most important or should be focused on first?
Yeah, great question. Covey was a genius in how he packaged those 7 habits. To me, the habit of being proactive means to take full responsibility for one's lot in life. I am where I am today based on every decision I've made up until today. And it's nobody's fault where I am today. It's the sum of all of the decisions. The word decide means to kill off. I am where I am today because of every decision, good and bad, that I have made. And I think that decision is the most important decision, is to be proactive with your life and accept total responsibility, good and bad, for the decisions that you make.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you, Susan, for that question. And finally, the last one comes from Mark, and he says, you mentioned pray drive. Tim Grover calls it dark side. I struggle to activate my pray drive / dark side. Do you have any recommendations of what I should do?
Yeah. Tim Grover and I are good friends. And I would tell you that there is a dark side to pray drive. What I'm talking about with pray drive, the dark side is anger. The dark side is, emotion. The dark side is jealousy, rage. There is a dark side. I actually did a webinar on the dark side of pray drive and the emotions and how to channel those dark side. Most big time people, everybody struggles with these things. That's why there has to be a conversion from a negative energy to a positive energy. And it can be a great friend, but it can also be destructive. So I would tell you that we got to learn how to convert that to positive fuel for you.
Absolutely. Mark, thank you for that question. Coach, we thank you for your time today.
Welcome to Refiners. Refiners is an organization of business owners and business professionals that are looking to improve their business and personal performance, just like you. As a Refiners member, you will have the opportunity to build connections with like-minded individuals from your industry. Join our amazing community for free at refiners.io.